My name is Lauren Tiberio, and along with Nick and Amanda, we're going to talk about emotional intelligence and why it is so important in leadership. We will discuss what is emotional intelligence, the emotional intelligence models, why you should care about emotional intelligence, leadership, and we will complete our TED Talk with our conclusion. Emotional intelligence is the ability to perceive, interpret, demonstrate, control, evaluate, and use emotions to communicate with and relate to others effectively and constructively. It is so critical for leadership, especially because it helps you build relationships, reduce stress, diffuse conflict, and improve job satisfaction. All things that are important for leaders to do and to encourage their team to be successful. The emotional intelligence models are the ability model, the mixed model, which has two, and the trait model. The ability model was perceived or developed by Peter Salovey of Yale University and John Mayer of the University of New Hampshire. And his model talks about perceiving emotions, understanding nonverbal signs, such as body language or facial expressions, reasoning with emotions, understanding emotions and interpreting them, and managing your emotions. The mixed models talks about self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills, such as conflict management and communication skills. The trait model was developed by Konstantin Vasily Petrides. He defined the model as a constellation of emotional self-perceptions and focuses on one's understanding and perception of their own emotions and the use of personality framework to investigate trait emotional intelligence. I'm going to pass off the mic to Nick, who's going to talk about why it is so important and why it's specifically important for leadership.
Thank you, Lauren. So why is it important? Why should you guys care about emotional intelligence? There's 5 points on this specific question. First of which being improved relationships. So individuals with higher levels of EI or emotional intelligence tend to have better relationships with their colleagues, friends, and family members. They're better at communication, resolving conflicts, and building trust. Second of which is going to be better leadership skills. This is kind of overall. But emotional intelligence is crucial for effective leadership. Leaders who are in touch with their own emotions are also going to be in touch with the emotions of others. So they're going to be better able to inspire and motivate their team, create a more positive work environment, and make better informed decisions. They're also going to have increased resilience. So individuals with a higher level of EI are better equipped to handle stress and emotional challenges within the workplace. They're able to regulate their emotions, maintain a positive outlook, and recover from setbacks more quickly. They also will have enhanced decision-making, which kind of plays into increased resilience. Emotional intelligence will allow individuals to consider the emotional impact of their decisions on themselves and others. This can lead to more ethical and effective decision-making, as well as improved outcomes for everybody involved. So, I mean, we've talked at length about this within class. It's kind of looking past your 5-foot or 10-foot view of the world and seeing how your influence or your decisions impact the rest of the people around you and the rest of the world as well. So for career advancement, emotional intelligence is definitely a valuable asset within the job market. It's often sought after by employees. It's really hard to quantify or really hard to put a number on it, but it's often sought after, and employers will usually look at that through different conversations and different questions on interviews as well. But individuals who do show that they possess a higher level of emotional intelligence will tend to have better job satisfaction, receive more positive performance evaluations, and have a greater career advancement opportunity overall in the long run. So why is this specifically important to leadership, or how does it relate to leadership, I should say? So better relationship with the team overall. Leaders with a higher emotional intelligence are able to understand the emotions and motivations of their team, which will lead to better relationships overall and more effective communication. They're able to build trust and rapport with their team, which can increase the commitment and shared goals, which kind of plays into increased engagement as well. A byproduct of more commitment to the shared goals would be an increase in engagement with the group meetings and discussions. So if you have somebody who's not really committed to the shared goals of the team, then they're not going to be engaging as much in conversation or brainstorming or nonverbal communication as well, such as like text or email, versus if you have somebody who's really, really committed to the shared goals of the team, maybe they line up with their personal goals or something like that. They're going to be very engaged within the team aspect, and they're going to be very engaged in nonverbals such as, text, email, etc. Self-awareness and self-regulation. So leaders with high emotional intelligence are able to regulate their own emotions, even in the stressful situations, which is, when it matters most. They have a good understanding of their own strengths and weaknesses, and they're able to manage the emotions in a way that maintains a positive work environment. So, when something happens and it's a really, really bad situation, we always look to our leader. And sometimes we've all been in the situation where our leader is, running around like a chicken with his head cut off and not knowing what to do, et cetera, et cetera. Versus we've also had those leaders where we look to them and they're as cool as the other side of the pillow. Obviously, we would much rather have the louder. And that also maintains, a positive work environment throughout the rest of the team. When that situation does occur, there's trust in the skills of everybody, as well as the skills of the leader. And that's kind of a top-down mentality in that sense. For conflict resolution, leaders with a higher emotional intelligence are better equipped to handle conflicts and challenges. They'll approach them with empathy and an understanding of different perspectives, which also helps to resolve the conflicts in a way that's respectful, productive, and efficient. Again, talking back to the difference of the two leaders, we would much rather have that person who can kind of disassociate from the situation, look at it from a higher point of view, and see all the different outcomes with all the different with all of the different choices that are within the situation. And then inspiring trust and loyalty. High emotional intelligence leaders are often seen as more trustworthy and authentic, which will inspire trust and loyalty among the whole entire team. This can increase employee morale, motivation, and create a more positive work environment overall. So that's how it would relate to leadership in general. And now we're going to pass it off to Amanda to talk about kind of concluding and wrapping up all of our thoughts. Thank you.